another Saturday morning, a beautiful Saturday morning. Perfect time to talk real estate. It's the Cummins Real Estate Group show with the one and only Michelle Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. Good morning, Michelle. How are you doing?
Good morning, Curtis. I'm doing fantastic. And how is your fine day so far rolling out?
Well, I got a cup of coffee in hand, and I'm good to go.
Oh, me too. Actually, I'm almost done with my second cup.
Oh, you're going to be really good and caffeinated today.
Oh, yeah. I'm awake.
Excellent. Well, that's what we need, both of us to be awake so we can talk coherently here about real estate.
Okay, so before we go into real estate, though, as you know, Richard, he came out with a new single this week. And
he did.
Yes, and I don't know if you remember, last year at this time, it just so happened to be at this time, he had released a country single called Carry On Canada, which you played on this fabulous #1 country channel.
Right.
And he released another country single this week, and it's called Water Comes Down. Yes. The sounds of Vancouver, sun is crying, the rains come down. Okay, I'm not going to give away the lyrics, but...
It's a very West Coast song.
Yes, it is. And not that you can tell with the beautiful weather we've been having lately. It's been fantastic. But, yeah, you can listen to it on Bandcamp, and I actually posted it on my personal Facebook page. So if anybody wants to listen to it, you could just jump on there and, enjoy it.
And I'm sure we'll get around to playing it on here before you know it.
Oh, I bet. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
That's right. It won't take long. We'll get it on here, too. People can hear it in its entirety.
I think everyone is out mowing already this morning.
Yeah, that's one of the things I get to do today. Once I'm done here, I got to cut the grass.
Before it gets too hot, because, it's going to be one of the hottest days so far this year.
That's what Environment Canada is telling us.
Yeah, so time to go outdoors and do some gardening. And, that reminds me, I did just a post a couple days ago about outdoor and making your outdoor space fun with outdoor structures. And it's like patio covers, pergolas, decks, gazebos, sheds, greenhouses. That's great. Tomatoes, bridges. Got to kind of fix our bridge, ponds. There's so many great ideas that you can transform your outdoor space. And why not use every square footage possible? You're blessed to have every square footage you have. So use it. Use every inch and make a statement with it and enjoy it, because we're all at home more often these days, and our backyards are our playground right now.
Pergola is one of my all-time favorite words.
Mine too.
And I don't know why. It's just a fun word to say, pergola.
It is.
When it's really, they look cool, but it's like they're not really keeping the rain or anything off you, so I don't know why they're so popular, but I love them. Places
to grow beautiful vines.
I guess, yeah, okay, yeah.
So, buying buying a home in this type of market that we're in, later on in the second segment, we're going to talk about 6 tips for first-time home buyers, and we're going to also talk about the 4 things people are looking for in 2021 and buying tips for that, and what are the amenities people want this year. So we're going to talk about that. But, it's a real intimidating adventure, this buying home, especially in today's market. So I wanted to say as well on my actual business Facebook page, which is just Michelle Cummins Remax Little Oak, or it's at Fraser Valley Realty, to equip yourself with the knowledge of the costs associated with homeownership and the cost of living, which a lot of people don't think about that. They first think about getting the mortgage and what does that look like. But what do the overall costs look like on a day-to-day, quarterly, annual basis, right? So on there, I have a home budget planner. So I posted it, I think, Wednesday or Tuesday, a few days ago. But it can be an incredible, useful tool. So check it out. Hopefully it helps you. Wanted to share that.
Excellent. Good idea.
And also, what has been happening in the last, I would say, 2 weeks, maybe 3, but really we've been noticing it in the industry the last week or two, is that multiple offers have sort of come to a halt. where we feel like we're going to get 6 offers. This week, we really haven't had any multiple offers, like none compared to what we had a month ago, right?
Right.
And last week, where you thought maybe you'd get 6, you got maybe 2, or maybe when you thought you'd get 4, you'd get none. Like it's shifted. So having said that, March has set 3 all-time records in real estate for the Fraser Valley. So it's not like our our prices and sales aren't happening and listings aren't happening. They are, but I wanted to give the knowledge and caution sellers for their expectations. If you're going to list your home, you are going to get the highest price possible, because we are at the highest prices still, and it should sell relatively pretty quick. But, you might not get multiple offers. So a warning or a heads up that you should definitely price your home now in today's market for what you feel it's going to sell for. So there's no more, pricing it at $850, let's say, when you think it's going to sell for around $900 or more, or $899 when you think it's going to sell over $900. Just price it where you think it's going to sell, where you feel the market value is. Make sure your realtor, take their advice on this, because we're in the thick of it 24/7. Real estate is not a game. It's literally, we are working hard every minute of every day, and we hardly sleep or eat. So especially in a market like this. So we know it. We know exactly what's going on. And so I just wanted to share that, because sellers, have expectations maybe still that there's all these multiple offers happening. But no, right now you really got to price smart and price well so that you will even get an offer within the first week. So, but if you do it right, you will definitely you're going to make top dollar. It's still the highest prices ever. It's just not multiple offers anymore.
It's just that strategy of figuring out which technique to use, which we've discussed so many times, about going low and looking for multiple offers, or going high because you want to get that certain dollar figure. Well, now you're pretty much going for just what you're looking for your price.
Exactly. I know some realtors have expressed, I just saw this, actually, it was yesterday. He said that his seller of his said, I want to price it at this, but I won't sell for anything less than this, and then I expect this, but it was like, oh, that's not the strategy we need to use today, because things have changed, and that's the real estate market. It can change overnight. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're at now. Now, Curtis, I have not been keeping an eye on the time, and I wanted to talk about it's tax time, and April 30th is coming up, and I have some real estate tax write-off advice to give. Do we have time to talk about that?
Yeah, we got about 4 minutes still, so let's go for it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. So people may not know that there's some real estate write-offs you can have. Some people can. Now, before I talk about that, though, there's this great website I found. It's called taxtips.ca. So it's Canadian, and it actually has it's chock full of tax calculators, rate brackets, and a lot more. So it's always wise to gain the knowledge for yourself and know at the end of the day where you're really making, after taxes. What are you putting in your pocket after taxes, after the deductions? What type of write-offs can you use? And myself, I looked for years and years. Obviously, I used an accountant. For years and years, though, I was looking for a good one. I've been in real estate selling for 18 years, and I've had to go through a few accountants, and it's so hard to find, a good one. And I found an amazing one about 4 years ago. It's been 4 years, and Andrew is his name, Andrew DeVirtual, and he's with Ivory Planning Group, and they're an amazing group. We've had him on the show, actually, I think 2 years ago, maybe 2018 or 19. So we have their show on our podcast. But he is amazing. So anyways, shout out to him. If you need an accountant, definitely call Andrew. He will take care of you at Ivory Planning Group. But, okay, so this is about each year. So many of us Canadians move from our primary residence. So some might be able to deduct those certain moving expenses on their year-end personal tax returns. Not everyone can claim the deduction, though. Too bad, as there's criteria for eligibility in certain types of expenses that can be deducted. So who can claim moving expenses? It's individuals who have moved and established a new home to be employed or to run a business at a new location, they're entitled to deduct eligible moving expenses. You must be deemed a factual resident of Canada, and the move must go from the place where you ordinarily reside, your main primary residence, to another place where you will ordinarily reside. You may be eligible for the deduction if the new home is at least 40 kilometers closer to your new place at work than the prior location. It covers individuals who have moved within Canada from outside Canada to a new work location in Canada, or from Canada to a new work location outside of Canada, and certain individuals who moved between two locations outside of Canada. So lots of information, but if you're Canadian, this is great. Full-time students may also qualify to deduct the eligible moving expenses from part of their scholarships, fellowships, whatever they have, the grants. So what type of expenses can you claim? Well, you can deduct eligible moving expenses, and there's a lot of them. There's transportation and storage costs. That's very common. Includes movers, in-transit storage, packing, your insurance, your travel expenses to a new location, including your vehicle expenses, your meals, and accommodations for you and your family members for a certain amount of time. So to claim the vehicle or meal expenses, you must either have the detailed or you just have to. There's a lot of details. So again, talk to your accountant. Make sure you don't miss any of these write-offs. Temporary living expenses, I think it's up to 15 days is what I had read. And there's so much more. I mean, the cost of your legal documents and simple things like replacing your driver's license and your vehicle permits. And there's just so much. You're moving your address. That costs money at the post office. So all these expenses, the cost of selling. So just want to make sure that everyone knew that, so you're not missing out.
It's all true, because when I moved back to the Lower Mainland from Prince George, we were able to write off so much. And it was funny because the government actually, they said, we need to see proof of all these receipts. So I sent it to them. And then because they sent me my return, it was like a huge return. It was like the biggest tax return I've ever got because we had so many write-offs. So when I sent them all my receipts, they learned a lesson, because the government then owed me another $400. I'd missed a couple things.
Oh, that's great.
So it's funny. The government's never asked me for receipts since for some reason. But you're right. You can write off just about everything on the move. I was able to write off the hotel room on the way down. I was able to write off the meals on the way home and stuff like that. And it was just just about everything you could imagine you could write off.
That's fantastic that you knew about that.
Well, I made a big move, and the kids were young, and every penny counted then. So, yeah.
Do what it takes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we better take a break here. And if people want to get in touch with you and ask you questions, things like that, where can they go?
MichelleCummins.ca.
We're back with more right after this. Number 2 of the Cummins Real Estate Group show with local realtor superstar Michelle Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. Now, Michelle, what do we want to talk about here in the second segment? I believe it's something to do with first-time home buyers.
Yes, I wanted to start off with that because I had a deficiency walkthrough of a brand new, beautiful townhouse this last week. A deficiency walkthrough, for those who might not know, for new home construction, before you move in, you walk through with the builder or their representative usually, and your realtor, and you got some green tape, and you walk around with a very eagle eye and a microscope, and you take a look at everything, and you mark anything that's a deficiency so that they can fix it, hopefully, before you move in. But there is also the 1-year builder's warranty that you have. So any nail pops after your home settles and everything, you get to give that list to the builder, and they will come back, their service guys, and fix everything by the end of the year. So you have a whole year. But people, when you buy a new home, you want everything to be perfect because it's new. It should be. So that's called the deficiency walkthrough. So anyways, we did that. It was in Surrey, beautiful townhouse complex right on the park, lots of trails. This wonderful first-time home buyer couple of mine. Oh, I love them. They're fantastic. But I wanted to. It made me so joyful. It always makes me joyful, especially first-time home buyers. Right? It's just such a big thing. It's a big purchase, and so proud of them to get there and do it and make that decision. And it's just so good for them. So anyway, so happy. So the walkthrough went very well. It went very well. And I wanted to give some helpful advice. So 6 smart strategies for first-time home buyers. If you're thinking about buying a home and you're wondering, when's the right time, well, here's some 6 pieces of practical advice. One is, of course, get a pre-approval. We always talk about this on the show. Everyone should get a pre-approval. Cursory pre-approvals from an online calculator only provide a top-level estimate, but a true pre-approval accounts for factors such as your income, credit score, and down payments. Now, we have a partnership with a few mortgage providers and mortgage brokers. Thrive Mortgage Group is one of our mortgage providers that we use, and they have some great efficient ways of getting your documents uploaded, of making it efficient, of making it clear and understandable. It's very safe because it doesn't just get saved on their computer. They're a great source for efficiency, and if you like tech, and you like things done quickly and swiftly, and you like to keep communication so you haven't missed anything, they're fantastic with that. I do have on my homepage, on my website, there is a pink tab, and you click it, and yes, almost all online calculators don't give you an actual pre-approval where you're solid for that interest rate for the next 120 days. But that pink tab on my site is from Haystacks Mortgages, and they actually do give you a true pre-approval. There is an actual mortgage provider on the other end of that, and that's a 6-minute pre-approval. It's very fast, and then they follow up and get all your documents. But if you're just out and you need something quick, go on my home page and click that link, and within 6 minutes you can get approved. So second thing, know your numbers. You should have the resources required to handle the inevitable extra costs. We talked about costs earlier. These are the costs of actually purchasing a property. If you only have enough to cover the 5% down payment, then you can't afford a house. You have to think of other things. If you purchase over a certain price point, you've got property transfer tax. But if you're in the average price point, pretty much first-time home buyers, that is waived. But there's other expenses. There's the legal conveyancing costs. There may be some property taxes that you owe back to the seller who may have already paid for the full year. There's moving costs. We talked about that. So there's other costs. So you got to have more than just the 5% down. But as far as the down payment, that's a minimum of 5%. Okay, 3, don't let FOMO be your main motivation. When you get into a deal with thin margins, if anything goes wrong financially, you're in trouble. Hence, buying decisions can't only be based on the FOMO, fear of missing out. Make sure you have all your ducks in a row, your T's crossed, your I's dotted, you've got professional advice, you're leaning on that professional advice, you're asking questions. There's never too many questions you can ask, even if you're not a first-time home buyer, but especially if you're a first-time home buyer. And again, to help out those who are buying, I have a buyer's guide on my website as well, under the blog, or just search for it, or email me. I'm happy to email it to you. It's a full buyer's guide to prepare you for buying. Okay, so number 4, future-proof your buying decision. Think seriously about what your plans for the future are. Assess where you're going to be comfortable today, of course, but also in the next 5 years. What kind of hobbies do you have? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years and 5 years? Seriously, you got to think of those things because life changes pretty quick. And number 5, don't be too proud to ask for help. Just like asking questions, don't be too proud to ask for help. Family help won't always be available. It can be a way to get into the market, though, at today's high prices. But if you need it, just ask. There's a lot of people out there family, friends, who might help you. 6, don't worry about hitting a 20% down payment. So many people think they need 20%. Well, while the cost of mortgage default insurance will add up to 5% to your mortgage, it often comes with better interest rates. Yes, having lower down payments below 20% actually gives you better interest rates. Some people think, oh, I'm going to put 20, 50% down, it's all good. But guess what? There are higher interest rates the more you put down. I know it sounds funny, but there's reasons for it. So you're saving on the monthly payments. So yeah, there you go. Those are the 6 tips for first-time home buyers. And then I want to talk about 4 reasons people are buying homes in 2021 this year. Why are they buying? Well, the record low mortgage interest rates is number one. The average rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage hit a record low 16 times, continuing to fall. Oh, my goodness. Many wonder how long these rates will last, creating urgency to buy this year. And because the term rates have currently gone up recently, this variable rate has not, because as we talked about, the Bank of Canada is holding the base rate, so the variable rates aren't changing, just some of the term rates have. And a lot of people do the 5% down, 5-year term, because they hear about it all the time. You know, they're just like, well, isn't that what everyone does? I'll do what everyone does. But sometimes that variable rate is a lot better for you. You can get out of the mortgage without a penalty. Who knows, in 2 years, if you change your mind, or if you're having a job transfer and you don't want that prepayment penalty, that's $30,000 or whatever it is. It can be really high, especially in your first 3 years into your mortgage, into your term mortgage. So there's things to think about. 2, working from home. That's a reason people are buying this year. Remote work is a new normal and may be here to stay. And I'm telling you, my assistants, they're working from home. They have since last March. I have a wonderful new lady coming on board, and she's going to be working from home. And guess what? They're working from home even after COVID's over, because why not? So I still have my office, but, you know, let them work from home. That's kind of, I think, the new norm for a lot of people after all this is over. For some, working remotely in their current home is challenging, though. So, I mean, they weren't used to it. I've got so many people who are moving this year because of that challenge. So they may be looking at better options this year. 3, more outdoor space. So we talked about earlier in the first segment of the show about creating some great outdoor space and entertaining area, because we're all, you know, we got to entertain ourselves at home. Being at home is driving those in some areas to seek less densely populated neighborhoods and more usable outdoor space, so they have more room to stretch their legs. And I've got 2 fantastic East Abbotsford homes right now. Oh my goodness, their outdoor spaces are private and fun and relaxing and just wonderful. So have a look at my website for those listings. And actually, one we're going to talk about because it just listed yesterday, and the other one just as a week ago or so.
Now, you talk about outdoor spaces, and your husband sends me a text the other day of himself sitting by the campfire with the mountains in the background. Yeah, it must be rough.
Isn't it? I know. See, you can choose your wonderful outdoor space. You're enjoying your outdoor space more now that you've moved than before, right?
Absolutely, and the magnolia tree now is opened up, and it's just beautiful.
Oh, send me a photo.
I will do that.
I'll post it online.
Good call. I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, number 4, avoiding renovations. So many homeowners now would rather buy a new home or a home that's renovated than go through the process of fixing up the one they have.
Yes.
And, yeah, so you can get it. Why not get the mortgage at the low interest rates that there are and have something already done for you rather than buying something that you need to renovate or buying, something that, you're going to have to take the time and out of your own pocket or whatever. Anyways, so many people, we want it easy, our lives are stressful, our lives are busy. Most of us and a lot of us don't have the time or the energy or the wherewithal to do renovations. And I've been finding this trend lately is buyers just want it done. They want it pretty. They want it nice. They want to see what they want. They don't want to have to wait for it. So that's a big one.
Absolutely.
So now that brings me to what amenities are on buyers' wish list this year. So we talked about first-time home buyers. We talked about what buyers are looking for right now, or why they're buying, I should say. But now what amenities are they looking for? So it kind of goes hand in hand, but, while public health precautions continue to keep us at home, these features will become more popular to create safer spaces for us while providing an oasis of comfort. So this is an interesting one because this isn't just what I've come up with. Zoom rooms. So listings with the terms home office or Zoom room. Okay, this is from Zillow. They're up 48.5% year to year in just at the end of last year. So now it's probably even more. So that's evidence that homeowners are preparing for long-term remote working environments. So there you go, home office or Zoom room. When it used to be, you have 7 bedrooms or there's an office and, you might have wanted to go, let's just say it's a bedroom because there's room here. You just have to put up a wall or doors and you have a closet. Well, call that, instead of a bedroom, call it a Zoom room or a home office because that's what people need. I prefer home office, but there you go. And vacation-worthy amenities. We talked about the entertainer's outdoor space. And use that square footage you have and make it beautiful because buyers are focusing on functionality, right? Especially the backyards and fire pits and outdoor kitchens. I've got this great listing right now with an in-ground pool, private, gorgeous, huge deck, multi-level, and it's got an outdoor fireplace and an outdoor kitchen. So fantastic. That's on Simpson Road in Abbotsford, on the border of Abbotsford and Aldergrove, actually.
I've seen that listing. That is a pretty amazing outdoor space.
Gorgeous. And then safer and healthier homes. Home buyers are looking for home gyms now more than ever, alongside feng shui areas where they can have private time to meditate. So that can go from inside to outside when the weather gets better. So yeah, those are the top things people are looking for. And more room for the humans and the pets. So more people are living in multi-generational households, and this year the share of young people moving back home reached an all-time high. As schools and universities and things have gone online, so many of the students have gone back home. Also, pet-friendly rentals are actually up 73.1%, according to Zillow. And you had sent me earlier the notice or the media press about how rental rates in the Canadian overall area has gone down, and we were talking about how Vancouver, though, rentals have gone up.
Yes, it's just they hold their value here because we just don't have the inventory, right?
Exactly. And the last thing is small towns and new builds. So as we talked about earlier about how buyers want something new or already renovated, something that you just move in and enjoy and love, the bling bling. So that's what they're looking for. The pandemic has sparked a migration from densely packed cities to smaller towns, and home buyers are prioritizing new builds for customization options up 25%. And that's cleaner and unused, and that probably has to do with health concerns and bacteria and dirty other people's and I think that's why new homes are also up as well.
It definitely makes sense.
So we've got still some tickets left. We talked about last week on our show if our listeners had posted a review, a 5-star review on our podcast, that we would give away these tickets. So we've got some left. So if you go on there and just click the 5-star, download our podcast, and enjoy since 2018 we've been doing this. So have a look at them. There's some great advice in there if you're not a regular listener. But you can win a live WHL hockey watch, and you can be put in for a $425 prize package as well. So, so go on there and do that. I encourage you.
All right. Sounds good.
So the 2 new listings that just hit the market yesterday I've got, and I've been talking about them. The Mountain Drive one I've got in East Abbotsford at 2465. They're both East Abbotsford. This is a single family house on a beautiful, fully professionally landscaped lot. It is a gorgeous home. It was built in 1991, but it is fully renovated. It is on an 8,000 square foot lot with a really cool cabin in the back. It's really neat. It could be a music studio. It could be a home office that's separated from the actual house, so you have privacy and, no loud noises. It's 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It's a true 2-story home, a little over 3,000 square feet, and it is gorgeous. So have a look. I've got, of course, all of the bells and whistles, the floor plan, the drone video, all the photos, everything online. If you just Google 2465 Mountain Drive, and then my name, Michelle with 1 L, Cummins no G, you will find it. And then I've got at 3483 Hazelwood Place, which is also East Abbotsford, a newer home. It's only 5 years old. It's 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It's on 5,300 square foot lot almost. It's a true 2-story house as well, and it is just over 3,000 square feet as well, and it is gorgeous. It's at the end of a cul-de-sac, and that is on for $990. And I should mention that the one on Mountain Drive, it also has a brand new gorgeous hot tub in the back. And the way they renovated this house, really, it's bling bling. It's beautiful. And there's an outdoor covered deck area with a fire pit and low maintenance backyard. And that one's on for $1,198,000. So yeah, call me about them. Oh, and the quote of the week before we go. Okay, believe you can, and you are halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, very, very true. Very good. All right, well, if people want to get more information about your listings and about the services you provide as a top-notch realtor, where can they go?
MichelleCummins.ca.
And make plans to join us again next week when once again we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.